Good afternoon on what is a mild, bright but changeable day. It is Thursday, the 21st of September. I've got a nice hot cup of tea and a parcel to unbox. Quite a heavy one, and I believe that this contains something really rather special. Slide the way through there into that. So I've got plenty of plastic, but the first thing I've got is this. Music of the Spheres is Chaos, DCC 100 stretch goal items. So that gives you a clue of what is in here. I have DCC RPG character record, character name with Hugh on the front, and this box set. This is Dungeon Crawl Classics 100, a level 5 adventure. The music of the Spheres is Chaos, and this is the 100th title published by Goodman Games for Dungeon Crawl. Well, basically in its Dungeon Crawl Classics series. Okay, the original modules, of course, were written for Dungeons and Dragons 3.0, 3.5, beginning with Eagles of the Rat King, all the way back in 2003. It's 2023, so 20 years later, we get the 100th module. So they've all gone from essentially from Dungeons & Dragons 3rd edition to Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition, and then to its own set of mechanics with Dungeon Crawl Classics. So, only other thing you get in here is a DCC 100 stickers. One sparkly, one not, if you like that sort of thing. Let's just put this box out of the way so I can actually just have a quick look through all of this. So let's just start off with a character record. So if I can get... Always a case of trying to get into these tightly wrapped products. So it's no surprise. I mean, I have done, in the past, I've actually done a bit of this kind of sealing of items in cellophane. There we go. So, your journey from lowly gong farmer to mighty heroes has been a long and arduous one. You vanquished terrible foes, pried the jeweled eyes from profane statues. Nice nod to the front of the player's handbook for Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 1st edition. Mastered forbidden magic and paid homage to powerful deities. Now you must ensure your legendary deeds resound down the aeons. The DCC RPG character record folio is here to sell. 16-page gaming aid provides all the space necessary to record every detail of your character, from ability scores to the name of demons who clamour for your soul. You will find a place to record it all. The character record folio also contains handy reference tables, sections for use with Mutant Crawl Classics RPG, DCC Lankmar and DCC Dying Earth characters, wet, dry, arise, friendly areas for recording information, if fleeting character information, plus 2 interior cover pockets for storing extra gaming records, maps and other materials you might need at the gaming table. Life might be short and hard in DCC RPG, but with a character record folio, at least your parish are organised. So what we have inside is basically a classic DCC cartoon about character abilities, and you've got a randomizer philosophy and recharge section, and areas for recording things like luck tokens for Dungeon Crawl Classics, grudge tokens for, I'm presuming, for Mutant Crawl Classics, greenstone shards, and mojo tokens for something else. On the pockets there, it's really quite a simple screen, and you've got a character portrait or symbol box on the other side, on the folio, and then you've got the screen, the character sheet itself. Inside, just more information. So even sort of like recording thief abilities, which are useful if you're a thief, if you're playing DCC Lankmar, cleric spells and abilities, wizard spells and abilities. Table of a space for your corruptions, mutant core classics, artifact checks and results, DCC Lankmar patron dice. You've got mutations listed there. Here's this section here for mutant core classics, then DCC Lankmar, and that includes patron die results, benisons and dooms you can gain. Dying Earth notes, Wayfarers, Supererogatory Luck, spell applications, spaces for your hirelings and allies, campaign notes, foes, and then we get on to adventure journals. So you've got an entry per adventure, and then where you can record things like adventure name, location, monsters, and villains defeated, treasure gained, and notes. So you've got several pages of that. That's all very nice. And then treasure at the table, last will and testament, and weapons tables. So all of that goes in there. So those are the little pockets for extra things they mentioned. So that's the folio. That's all very nice. The thing is, it's sort of like, it's okay. I mean, if you play a lot of DCC and you think your character's going to survive, very nice. If it's not going to survive, okay. So, well, this is. Let's have a look inside the box before I have a look at the extra content. What did I do with the knife? I'll put it down there. But first, okay. So, the God Eaters sought to cast down the multiverse's deities by building a dungeon machine capable of distilling chaos into their god-slaying champion. Their plan failed, but their legacy remains. DCC 100 is an adventure unlike any other. This dungeon spins on 4 separate axes that are attached to the 17 by 22 game board. The dungeon's layout changes with each turn of a powerful in-game artifact. As the dungeon spins, the flames of chaos burn brighter and threaten the entire world. A handout booklet of stunning player-facing illustrations is also included. Can the heroes triumph, or will they succumb to the music of the spheres? So there we go. So you've got a replication on the cover, back part of the cover, but you can see some of the sort of like the spinny section and little details in there. But let's find out what's inside. Side is open. Let's get the plastic off. And don't know what. So these are the little grommets here for the spinning dungeon, I suspect, because you've got sort of like sections like that will spin. There we go. So you've got multiple sections like that, and an even bigger one. And then basically monsters to encounter when they're sort of like when you're in the worm section, and the lion section, and you've got the wolf section, and the goat section. And the music of the spheres. This is the player handout. Oh wow! I mean, look at this. I mean, I do love booklets like this, which give you illustrations which you can show your players. because it really helps to bring the adventure to life, because the player characters can really see where their adventurers are. It helps with their imagination, and you know, it goes all the way back to like the special modules like S1 Tomb of Horrors. And you're constantly going to be sort of showing these to players, and they're going to be sort of like amazed by what you've got in there. So you've got multiple illustrations. We've got 23 pages, 27 pages of illustrations of just, you know, Dungeon Core Classics entertainment. More handouts, not quite sure what they are for. You have the Music of the Spheres booklet, and you've got some replication of that artwork, but that's fine. You know, honestly, it doesn't matter. Typical frontispiece, introduction, background, and Dreams of the Fear of Ages, and the explanation of the Fear of Age glyphs there. And then you've actually got discussion of Being from Beyond the Stars, adventure hook, encounters, and an overview of the dungeon. And you can see the overview how it all fits together. You've got these spinning locations which rotate and connect to each other in different ways. You know, when you have a player start. The Plague of Assassins, another nameless bar in Punjab. So you can start this from Lankmar, DC Lankmar if you want to. You get caught in the Sheaves of Chaos. So these are the Sheaves of Chaos the player characters can end up with. And then they're on the trek out to the location. Now, you know, so basically, as a sort of like a scenario for DCC Lankmar is not necessarily a dungeon bashing game. You can have dungeons in it, but there's sort of like, with the player characters mostly being thieves and cutthroats, it's not something that they do, but in this case. So, and there are design diaries distilling the chaos down, where you get to Saga Martha and start making discoveries about the nature of the chaos. And level 0 Shagamatha. Encounter some bugs. That's quite a gruesome picture, especially if you're an arachnophobe. Map to the dungeon master, the judge, sorry. And then nature of the grand alchemical experiment, which, when this is activated, it will cause the locations to spin. We've got an explanation of how that works. Halls of the God Eaters. Level 1. And that's great picture of someone counting something, you know, just go, what the hell is that? What the hell is he doing? And some more grotesqueries, or grotesques. The artwork is excellent in here. I do like this. And this is just actually not necessarily stuff that the player characters will see. You know, almost this is for the game of the judge's eyes. Judge's eyes only. So then we get into, now we're into the different spheres. These are the areas of the dungeon that are going to spin. So you've got the sphere of fire. And then design diaries, object adventure. That's a nice touch. You know, essentially you've got discussion by the author. How did I put this together? How did this come apart? How did it come, you know, how did this come, you know, together to be a playable adventure? Level B, sphere of the Earth. Yeah, I always like design diaries because it gives you an insight into what the publisher was thinking. So, design diaries, best ideas. Level C, sphere of water. And then we have bonus material, appendices. So, involving the star rot. Interesting topic. The star rot evolution. Appendix B, 5 splinter cults, so associated with these events. So, multiple cults, cult of the river god, servants of the sphere, and you've got things like, you know, discussing things like life as a servant, key locations, adventure hooks. So this is all expandable content you can add to this dungeon. And then we've got a big list of the Kickstarter backers. That's quite lengthy. And the mythologist sees all. Quick note from the author. Dungeons of Neverwhere. Sort of discussion, more aspects of the design diaries, which are really forward to reading, and adverts for Core Classics and other titles. As you would expect. So, and of course, here are the essentially the player characters you'll see in all of the Dungeon Core Classics artwork. So that's the core book for the campaign. Next, below that, we have this heavy duty thing. This board. I'm going to show you this. And that sits in the middle of the table. That's what the dungeon is going to sit on, where you've got the revolving sections going round, you know, as the player characters explore, activate the archive artifact, and change, you know, cause the dungeon to revolve and change through their actions. So I'll put that all back. Now we're going to look at the Kickstarter bonus pack. So you've got more of the little divots to put your these on the board, but where in the box set these are fully drawn on, these are blank. So the player characters can, so the players can sort of like they're playing and sort of like can begin to map it and do it for each section. That's really nice touch. Definitely worth having. And then you have Goodman Games Gazette, which comes out for every Kickstarter. So there's, this is always nice to read. It brings you up to date with stuff going on. So you've actually got a big interview with the author. This is it's like having a bit of a newspaper for the Kickstarter backers. And then we've got basically designing a miniature ziggurat of doom, a big encounter, and then we've got a bit of a coverage upon the Gone Farmer's Almanac, which is an ongoing kind of collection of resources and collects fanzines and content that's come out over the course of the year. Marvelous Nook and Only Adventures. So essentially, we've got art and adventure by Peter Mullen. So you've got a free adventure in the back. I mean, in this size, in this almost sort of like broadsheet size, it's a little unwieldy to kind of use. And then on the back, you've just got like a big old Baen or Doubleday sort of like classic American advert for science fiction books. So yeah, you get that in there. You have I'm not entirely sure. I'm not going to. All right, this is a poster of. It is huge. I don't know whether I can actually unfold it, but I mean, this is a poster map of all 100 adventures. You just see how big that is. I mean, I can't. It's so big. I can't actually show it to you. So yeah, take it from me. It's absolutely huge. All the adventures, all 100 adventures, are basically illustrated on this. I'll show you sort of like the there's actually more than 100 because it's you get down to like 103. So that's just some. It's just some of the adventures published for DCC over the years. Then we got this. Now this is the blank version of the dungeon map. Utterly blank. And you put the flat circle thing in there and you spin it around, and it's where these bits and pieces are intended to sit on here. So that's really nice. If you've got the extras for the campaign, it lets you do that. It lets you essentially really with a write-on, wipe-off marker pen, the player characters can genuinely actually really begin to map out the dungeon. And the other advantage of this is really simple. Okay, once you've got this, you don't need any of these bits afterwards. After you finish writing the dungeon, after you finish drawing it, you wipe it off and you've got a map board you can use over and over. Put it down, the player characters can see where they are, what they're doing, and yeah, that's really good. Okay, so that is all really rather something, I would say. You are getting your money's worth with this package. So it looks like a fantastic dungeon, a really fun idea for a scenario. Nicely supported. And then what I haven't done is I need to put little divots back in case I don't want to lose those. So yeah, so this is going to be new out, and if you're a big Dungeon Crawl Classics fan, you're going to want a copy of this. This is the music of the spheres is chaos. Literally, whatever music you're playing, you are evolving spheres, and it is going to be chaotic. So that's Dungeon Crawl Classics 100. So, hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me with a box containing a book or game, or in this case, a big dungeon for Dungeon Crawl Classics, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.